Progress. That's what we need.
Progress.
We
Hey,
need
everybody.
progress.
We're in progress again. Welcome to another fun-filled, exciting episode of This Is the Future.
Unfortunately, we're all fucked.
I'm telling you.
Mhm.
Yeah. Alex and I were just having a pre-meeting so I could vent out my frustrations so they didn't seep into the show. Um, so you don't get to see that, but
Yeah.
it wasn't worth watching anyway. Ask him.
Is anything worth watching though, Tony? Is
I
it?
don't know.
Is it?
There's 6 people that think our last week's episode was amazing, so thank you.
Thank you to those 6 people.
Yeah, we really did.
Yes. Tony, hi. How are you? How are you, Tony?
I'm good, man. Thanks for the fingering. I like the fingering. Yeah, I just actually, speaking of fingering, and I really just want the internet to explode. But in any case, I was watching a video where a gym couple was trying to motivate the girl was trying to motivate the guy to get he was squatting and she wanted to help him back up. So she just shockered his butthole. He had pants on, but in the gym, she just stuck her finger up
Mhm.
his butt.
Yeah.
And I really need to stop clicking on the comments because that's as far as I needed to go. But I thought it was pretty cool. And then everyone's like, harassment, harassment. I'm like, would be a cool job to go in there and just delete comments.
Yeah. Like.
Where'd it go? Yep, that's gone. I want a job. Hey, Insta, I can do this for you. I could just sit there like, gone. That's dumb. Gone. That's gone.
I wish you could delete someone's profile and then their actual human body would be deleted too.
I wish somebody would do that to me. Get me out of here, man. I'm good.
You know, which is like kind of like something we're gonna talk about later
Yeah,
here
we
in a
got
couple of
we got
minutes.
something.
But it's that might actually be the reality someday
Oh,
soon.
that'd be so cool if someone just deleted me. But you got to do it at work. Like, please do it. Like right at the beginning of my shift. Don't make me work the whole shift. Just right in the beginning. Just, just over. Like a stiff wind blew a pile of ashes. Just
Right.
gone. Oh, but anyway, I am doing well. I just maybe a funny story. We'll find out. I had to get my car tuned up so I could drive it across the country.
Right.
So and I kind of knew it was gonna be expensive. I don't know if anyone can relate to this, but I sure as shit can. It happens to me all the time. It's the fear of dropping off your car and getting that phone call. And this usually happens about a half hour to an hour later after you tell them what you think is wrong with the vehicle. Then they
Hmm.
call you. But funny enough, this dude was trying to call me. He was coming in as spam, so I kept deleting him. I was like, "Oh, not answering that shit." So by the
But he's
time
really
I
just.
actually yeah, I was like, "No, sorry. If you're potential spam, that's all I need to see. If you got a potential in front of you, buddy, you're out of here."
Get out of here. Bye
So anyway,
bye.
he was trying to call me to tell me the bad news, but I was at the gym and I was in the middle of a workout, so you're all, not physically pumped, but I was, had some adrenaline going. So
Sure.
he calls me up and I'm kind of close to the mirror and I'm doing an exercise and he's like, and I have Bluetooth or whatever because technology is amazing sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Um, in any case, he's uh he's like, yeah, so that clicking sound you talked about when you turn to the right, that's your axle. We'll have to replace the whole thing. And I instead of like being wah, I said, that sounds expensive. And he's like, yeah. I'm like, okay. It's like we under a grand. He's like, we're getting close to a grand. I was like, but we're not done talking, are we? He's like,
Yeah.
no, unfortunately not. I was like, all right, what else you got for me? And mind you, I have headphones in, and there's a bunch of people in the gym, mostly new people, newer to this earth. So I don't think they're ready for this. But that's a nice way to put it, right?
Yeah.
In any case, you're so new. You're just new. Um, so then he's like, "Oh yeah, and you remember how your Windows having an issue going up?" And now I'm starting to regret even bringing this shit up.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
like, "Oh yeah." I'm like, "Yeah, I remember that." He's like, "Yeah, it's about $247." I was like, "Okay." I was like, and then he's like, and then we got that inspection. The main reason you came, you know, your other shit we got to do, your 90,000 mile service or whatever. I was like, and I just started getting louder, but like positive. I was like, that sounds awesome. I was like, oh yeah, come on, stick it to me. I was like, let's break 1,500. Come on, baby, do it. And he's just like, he doesn't know what the fuck to do.
Yeah,
I'm like, come on. I said, come on, you can do it. Find something else wrong with that POS and give it to me good. And I look in the mirror and all these people are like, these you know these new people are just like, what's that older human doing? And I'm just like, oh yeah, come on, baby. Uh-huh. It's not like I have my phone up or anything, and I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm lifting weights. I'm lifting. I'm like,
Come on, baby.
I'm
Yeah,
like, come
give it
on,
to
like,
me.
come on, come on. I said, and I was like, stick it to me. Come on, you can do it better than that. Stick it to me.
You're
And I
like
kind of
a
look over my shoulder, and I'm like, I'm like, good set, good set. Shake it off, shake it off.
like
And
a
of course, you know, they're newer people. So once I stopped, you know, then they just, you know, pretended they weren't looking because that's how you handle it. Um, if it was one of my own, like, you know, older people, I would have been like, "Are you okay?" But or I would have applauded and smiled because I would have gotten it. I would have gotten the humor. But in any case, that's the first half. So then I'm at the house. They gave me a brand new. They give you a rental car, one of their
oh,
brand
yeah.
new fucking cars. They're brand new
Mhm.
cars, and all 4 sides and corners of my car are scratched and fucked up. Not because of my driving, believe it or not, just because of how everyone else drives
Your
around me.
actual car,
My
your
actual car is just
okay.
physically fucked up and just nicks, scratches. Someone actually rubbed a bunch of white paint off their car onto mine last week because they're real nice people. Spent 20 minutes trying to find out who it was, and then I calmed down and just got over the fact that no one gives a fuck anyway. Um,
That's
so
the reality of things. Yeah.
so they give me this brand new fucking car with 123 miles on it, and he's like, "Here you go, you know, sign away your life, blah blah blah. Bring your car insurance. This is your loaner vehicle for a few hours." I'm just like, dude, there's nowhere I can take it in this whole county that some asshole isn't gonna park next to it, even if I park it way the fuck on the other end of wherever I'm going. That some asshole isn't gonna park next to it, open their car door, close it, open it and close it, open it and close it, open it and close it until there's a nice, you know, come on. There's people get off on that shit. So I'm nervous as shit. I do my thing, blah blah blah. I'm like parking it at my place. I'm like, okay, if I park between these two handicap spots that already have cars in them, they haven't moved in months because you know they just don't move the cars. So I was like, great. I'm so nervous. I'm like driving back. I'm being careful. I'm also not trying to pay for any gas, so I'm trying to keep the right at the full line. I'm like, come on, fuck this. I ain't paying for nothing. And after they got all this money out of me, so I get
Right.
back and I was like, where should I park the car? I couldn't find a place to park it. I was like, I'm not gonna park it. Not at all. I'm gonna take this shit right into the garage as if they're going to fix it. So I just drove in like it needed a maintenance. I had a maintenance request. I was like, parked it. It was like, "Wook, wook, wook," flicked it off. I was like, "Here's your car," and they're like, "What'd you think of it?" I was like, "There's nothing wrong with it," like that. They're like, "Well, what do you mean?" I was like, "No, I mean, I didn't do anything to it. I don't nothing. I didn't do anything.
I like you're like acting guilty before, like
It's like, I didn't do anything. I'm sure some grandma drug her fucking grocery cart back and forth like a cheese grater against it, but I didn't do anything to your car." So and then they're like, "All right, cool, that's great." So then I'm standing there and some other dude's ringing me out, not the guy who's actually,
Mhm.
helping me, but
He's
so
ringing you out. What do you mean by ringing you out?
ringing me up like, the toll guy.
Oh, I thought you
Ringing
meant
me up.
like
He's
he's
like, "Let me see here. So we charge you this much for this shit. We charge you this yeah, we call it ring it.
yeah.
Can I ring you up?" That's what they call it here.
Oh,
Um,
because I heard ringing you out.
he wasn't physically twisting my body in an aggressive motion between two fists.
Yeah, I thought he was just trying to get all the water out of you. Like you're all soggy.
Don't talk about water. I do have to tinkle. Um,
Mm.
all right. So here's then I'm done with this story. So here it is. So the gentleman that I had on the phone that I'm like, "Oh yeah, baby, give it to me. Come on." We had a conversation in the beginning when he was, when I was telling him what was wrong with my car, all that shit. And I had mentioned a few things about discounts on moving and whatnot. And long story short, I had mentioned that I was a veteran. So I come back and I kind of feel bad now, but I don't. He was like, he's like, "Hey, listen, I want to show you something on your bill here." And I was like, "Over or under 1,500, man?" And he's just like, "It's actually under." He's like, "I went and talked to my service manager." I'm like, "Oh shit!" It's like this poor guy. It's like some 60-year-old gentleman who just desperately can't wait to fucking retire and get away from assholes like me.
Yeah.
Goes to his manager and he's just like, "Anyway, he saved you like $300." And I was like, "Oh my god, acting like a fucking crybaby does help." I was like, "That's why everyone acts like this around here. I get it now. Totally makes sense." So I didn't apologize, right? I
Mhm.
didn't cuss at him or yell at him or anything. I was just
Well,
being
yeah, you were being outrageous, but you're being positive, right?
I was being me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta be me. So the other guy's ringing me out, and he's like, "But these are the discounts." And I was like, "Hey," and then I was walking away and I was like, "Hey, Dave." He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Thank you. Like, seriously, thank you. You didn't have to do that. And the next time we hang out, I'm expecting it to be over 2 grand." And he's like, "You're a little crazy." I was like, "Thank you." He's like, "Have fun moving to Oregon." They're all like, "Good, this fuck's not coming back. This is awesome." So now Oregon gets to deal with my shit again. But almost felt bad. I was like,
Again.
she saved me $350. I was like, "You know what? That means y'all were willing to fuck me an extra $350 because you had the discount there, but you weren't offering it." So
Well,
I'm
I
glad
think
about
that's
it.
what the thing is. It's like, people will bend a little bit, but you gotta help
Yes.
them bend a little. You gotta help them bend over a little. Help them bend over, pull it down, spread them. Yeah, you gotta help them grab the ankles a little bit. So if you just would have said nothing, I would have charged you, 1,500
So
bucks. But
this is something that I've learned being in sales over years. As I'm saying this to customers, don't be scared to ask. Don't
right,
ever be scared to ask. I called the moving company, asked them if they had an additional discount. I got $100 off, got a $300 off here. Don't be afraid to ask. I'm in sales. If someone asks me for something and I can do it, I'll do it. But if they don't ask, I'm not going to offer it up.
hmm,
That's just sales. That's just business. You don't go giving the fucking shit away for free. You charge for it, and then if you can give them a discount and they ask, then you hook them up. So
right.
please ask. Don't be afraid to ask. That's me talking. I mean, it took me a long time to have enough balls to be like, "Excuse me, but you may have noticed my skinny frame. I can't actually afford that." So, like, "Oh my God, we're gonna starve this young man." Like, you are starving this young man. Then the next thing you know, you have an extra 350 bucks in your pocket. So don't be
Yeah, it's
afraid
not
to
bad.
ask.
It's not
And
bad.
honestly, it's usually not the sales reps' money you're taking out of their pocket, it's the corporations,
Yeah.
and they're okay.
So take all that money. Take
Yeah,
all that.
they're okay. So anyway, yeah, that was my morning, and I have one more thing to throw in there because I mentioned kidney stones last week. It's kinda funny. I went to the doc's office, and,
Mhm.
I wish that I could act like this at my job and make the money that this person makes at their job because he never gave a shit, doesn't give a shit now. I probably could have got him to write that down on a piece of paper if I wanted him to. I don't give a shit and never will. Goodbye. He would have written that. So I came in there and I was like, "Dude, having some issues again. Definitely pain, blah, blah, blah." He's just like, "Uh-huh." That's his attitude. "Uh-huh." I'm like, "Okay." So then he gets the x-rays that I showed up an hour early to get, and there's nothing in the x-rays. So I'm like, "Okay, so I guess I passed both stones. That's cool. I'll go with that." He's like, "Well, we could do an ultrasound really quick." And I'm like, "Okay." So they do an ultrasound, and the woman that does the ultrasound, my kind of woman. Oh my God. I don't mean love. I just mean a great human. Like, thank
Right.
God people like this exist. So I walk in, she's got her own little like office and it's dark in there. And it's just, she does ultrasounds for this kind of stuff. She's the only little office in there playing music. And she's like, "Okay,
Mhm.
just hop up here." And I was like, "Can I put my legs in the stirrups?" She's like, "No." I was like, "All right." So, and then she's
No.
like, she's putting that cold. She's like, "It's gonna be cold." And I was like, "Just like my soul." And she puts, she starts laughing and she's got music playing. And I was like, "You're the only one in here who gets it." And she's like, "What's that?" I said, "Everyone else in here is standing next to a coworker or on their phone bitching. but you have a sunny disposition, and it ain't because you like your job." And she's like, I'm interested. She's like, all right, what do you got? I was like, you're playing music. You get it. You have this shit on to bleed out everything that sucks in the world. This is awesome. I was like, I've never had someone ultrasound me with cold gel while listening to classic funk sounds of the 70s. And it's like, you are rad. I was like, you can tell that cat over there that you're the best because I said so. And she was like, you're crazy. I was like, thank you. So
How many times a day?
I'm
You're
trying
gonna
to
get,
get more.
you're
I'm
crazy.
more. Give me more. Come on, give me
So
more.
that,
I'm gonna earn them every single one. So I go back to the doctor. Now he's like, it's right down the hall. So then I go back to him. I got the cold gel on my kidneys and everything. I'm wiggling around, feeling good. And he's like, oh, so there are still 2 kidney stones inside. I was like, wait. So he's like, yeah, X-rays don't usually don't show anything. I'm like, huh? So then I'm like, all right, well, listen, man, the whole reason I came in here is to make sure I'm good to go before I move across the country so I don't have to, so I can have some
right.
time here. That he's like, oh, so you're leaving. I said, that's what you got out of that? Like, that's all you heard is you don't have to give a shit anymore? Um,
Right.
you
Yeah.
prick. So then
It
I
is.
was like,
Yeah.
listen, I just want to know if I have stones or not, man. That's it. I want to know if I've generated any more. Is my diet working or not? Am I drinking enough water? That's all I want to fucking know. So I can
Right.
stay away from you. You can stay away from me. That's what we both want, obviously. And so he's like, then he gets to this attitude. He's like, well, I could stick a camera up your pee hole, but I don't think you want that. I said, is it free? He's like, make this all angry.
Wait,
I was,
did he wait, did he say pee hole?
your urethra.
Okay. I just wanted to know if he just decided not to use any of his medical knowledge and just be like, I'll stick a camera up your dick hole if you want me to, you know.
Well, you have to keep in mind, of course, when people talk, I hear it my way. But
Well, no. I understand that. I just wanted to know what if
he
he
did. I
really
don't
said
think
that
he
or not.
said pee hole. If he did, I would have been laughing my ass off because it would have been
Yeah.
like Joe Pesci. I'm gonna take this camera and I'm gonna shove it up your pee hole, and I'm gonna take your head and I'm gonna shove it. Like, and it wasn't like that, but it would have been cool if it was. I would have liked that better for my $35 visit fee. So then I was like, all right, listen, man, it's fine. Fine. You know what? You don't have to shove a camera anywhere. I don't want any to shove anything. I was like, I'm just trying to see if I'm good to go before I leave. Right? That's it.
Mhm. Yeah.
Um, and with each question, he's getting more and more huffy. And I was like, listen, I said, the last time I was in here, I didn't ask any questions and I had a whole lot of problems. So this time I'm getting my $35 out of you. That's it. He's like, okay, well, I think you're fine, but what you could be experiencing, and mind you, I was sick as shit. I know I have something going on. Other people saw it too. I was having a rough time. So anyway, you know what this dude sums it up to? Blows my fucking mind. He says, and well, mind you, it's been a year since I've had a kidney stone operation or any of that issue. He said, ghost pains.
What it's why does he just come out and just call you a liar? You know what I mean? Like that's what I feel like that's what he is. That's what he's doing by saying ghost pains. Why don't you just come out and just be like, hey, I think you're lying. Right?
That's it. So basically, I'm gonna die. I'm fucked. I got something going on. I can barely pee, and I have ghost pains. So I literally have a ghost in my body squeezing my shit, just wee, ringing me
But
out.
then but didn't he say that there are 2 kidney stones in or two left?
Yes,
So
yes.
then like
But they're not in my urethra. They're not in my canal. So he's like, that's not what you're experiencing because the only reason you'd be experiencing that is if you had a blockage. I'm like, I understand how it works. Been down this road a couple of times. I remember. I was like, so basically, long story short, as far as this dude's concerned, because he already knows that I'm moving away, I'm not his fucking problem. So he's like, ghost pains. I'm like, wow. I was like, why don't you just tell me to die in your office? Like, just say you don't give a flying shit. I'll lay on your desk and just die slowly, and we don't have to worry about this at all. You asshole. You could have said, it's probably not kidney stones. You may want to look into something else. You may want to do more discovery. But he wouldn't say that because that would also be his fucking job.
Yeah.
He's like, no, 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 no. I don't want to look under your hood anymore. You probably have gallstones or cancer, but I'm not going to look. It's like, you know what? You're right. Ghost pains sound a lot cheaper. We'll go with that. Thanks, Doc.
Right.
I was
Ghost
like,
pains. He's just telling you that he does.
I don't fucking care, Tony. Like,
Yeah.
okay, can you at least put on that funky jazz she's got on down the hallway? Because that'll make me
Yeah.
feel better. I can dance the disco. Hey, I'm about to die from something I don't know what I have.
Dude, ghost pains.
Dude, it's just, it blows my mind because medical costs so much money. They cost so much money.
Oh
You
yeah.
talk
Oh
doctors,
yeah.
visits. Hey, fuck you so good. And here he is, ghost pains. For $35, ghost pains? Get the fuck out of here, man. Tell me I got a fucking shoestring in there or something weird. I don't care. Just don't tell
Yeah.
me ghost pains. Like, Tony, remember
Well,
that time that chick shoved a sneaker up your ass because you asked her to? Well, that Adidas is working its way down your piss canal. Okay, that's fine.
it would have been more appropriate sounding if he would have been like listed off like a few things, right? And then ghost pains was in the middle, right? You know, like gallstones, cancer, you can't read good, ghost pains,
Your
like
breath smells. You have horrible breath. And if nothing else, ghost pains.
or I mean, he could have explained it better. Been like, this happens to people. There's still two in there, but they're not. They're not in the chamber. And as far as we know, it's sad people may experience ghost pains. Maybe.
It's been a
But
year. Why am I being haunted a year later? Why
you
why
know,
would we wait a whole year?
you should have quoted Ghostbusters at him. I ain't afraid of no ghosts.
That's really funny. But he had no sense of humor, and at that point, I was like, it wouldn't have mattered. Be like, another joke falling flat on its face. So it was just like, I get it. Once you hear a doctor, because you build this up in your mind that medical professionals are professionals.
Right.
And then you pay the money, you visit the person in the little white coat, and then you immediately see they just didn't feel like being at work that day.
Well, yeah, what you got to remember is they're human
Humans
idiots
just
just like
like
you
us.
and I. Yeah,
But it's
they're
really scary to see them do a sloppy job. Sure, maybe I do a shitty job on a sale, you make a half-assed hamburger. It happens. But
yeah,
your
yeah,
health?
absolutely.
Your health? Like, just listen, next time, just pick up the phone before I even come down there and say, Tony, go fuck yourself. And then hang up. And I won't
Right.
even show up. It's okay. But the fact that the x-ray showed nothing, they had to do the little, I'm glad that when they did an ultrasound, they didn't find I was pregnant. Thank God for that.
That would have
That'll be a
been
problem 9 months from
incredible.
now.
Yeah, because it's like I don't know why you'd be pregnant. I mean, I'm shooting blanks. So
Yeah, that would be weird. But it's just funny to me, like, oh wait, there are stones in there, but that's not your problem. Be like, so there is no problem? Well, there probably is, but I don't want to talk about it. So, woo! Like, oh, okay, it's a ghost. I'm just thinking to myself, what year of medical school did you guys come and cover ghost pains?
yeah,
Get the fuck out of here. And I hope that when I'm dead, I really hope like, what did he die from? Shh. What? Whoa!
oh.
Fucking poltergeist.
So what do you do for ghost pains? Do you like take pretend Tylenol? Do you take like what do you do? Like
You know what you do. I
oh.
ain't afraid of no
I ain't
ghost.
afraid of no ghost.
I really wish I had done that now. That'd be great. I'll do if I ever get on a stage again, I'll tell it like that. That'd be great. I ain't afraid of no ghost.
No
And
ghost.
then he left. See, if I had said that and I left, he'd be like, all right, fuck him. He's good. But otherwise, like, you know what, Tony, you should probably go see another doctor that gives a shit. There's probably something wrong with you. I don't know. All
Right.
right. So yeah, that was a fun week. So for all of you who are wondering what I was up to this week, there you go. How about you, Alex? What'd you do?
Um Fun. It was fun. Had a good time, but it wasn't as interesting as your story, so it's gonna go like this.
Oh, sorry, man.
You know. But I just went to Callie's dad's house in Gig Harbor, something I've done a bunch of times and have talked about. Great time, great people, nice place, fun. Played cornhole. You played cornhole before?
I
The
have.
hoop. I actually like it. It's fun. Not very good at it, but I like doing it.
Me
I
either.
like anything. I like things you could do outside with a drink in your hand. That's what I like. I like you know, I'm not a board game person. I'll do what I can to not play board games. I hate board games. I really do. I don't like if people are like, hey, you want to play fucking Tiddlywinks? I'll be like, no, I don't want to. And they'll be like, you got to play. We're all playing. Blah, blah, blah.
Oh,
I'll
I
be
hate
like,
that.
why don't you go play off a cliff? How about that, huh? Why don't you go play a little board game right off a fucking bridge?
Go to jail.
But,
Ah!
but I like games that you can play outside, like both bocce ball, ladder ball, cornhole, that kind of shit. Like lawn bowling, uh, lawn darts. You know that shit that was outlawed. You know the big darts that you throw in the air and then
They were called
you just yeah you're hanging out
darts.
with all your siblings and you say yeah, and you have one behind your back. You just go throw it in the air and you say look up and they all run away. It's great.
It's like shooting a bow and arrow directly up into the air.
Yeah, like let's just say I used to have more cousins than I do now. Um, but went to Gig Harbor where Callie's dad and stepmom live, and it's great. They're good people. Fun time. It's a cool little town. I don't know if you ever been there, Tony, or if anyone is, but it's like if Bend, Oregon was a little smaller, right on the water, and more money.
Oh.
Now, Callie's dad and stepmom live in Gig Harbor, but like kind of on the outskirts a little bit, or like just like not downtown. Downtown is like you know boaters and like fishermen, but it's downtown. You could tell there's money downtown. Where they live, it's just kind of normal humans. No nothing crazy. Just nice, cool people that live out there, and yeah, it's a fun time. I actually like going there. It's good. It's where they live. It's a really pretty area. Um, yeah, cornhole, bocce ball, that shit like that.
Oh,
Drinking
yeah.
outside, I like it.
Well, I dig cornhole, but there was a meeting some point, maybe 20 years ago, that I wasn't invited to, where people decided that we were going to throw sandbags instead of horseshoes.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing is like when my dad and granted you have to have a yard, so it's a pain in the ass. Cornhole is way more efficient. I will say that. But horseshoes are nowhere to be found now. And I do like it. I love horseshoes.
Yeah.
Cornhole is, your softer, easier version
Mm-hmm.
of that. But
Well,
damn it, I like cornhole. I suck at it. Wasn't great at
mhm.
horseshoes either, but I do.
I
like
like
it.
horseshoes.
Yeah,
The only thing good about cornhole is you could take it with you.
exactly. It's way more mobile. Makes a ton of sense. You can play it everywhere, and of course, there are professional cornhole teams.
Hmm.
So gotta have that. I think
Yeah.
that's why they invented that belt thing with the can holders on it. You know what I'm talking about? Like
Oh,
behind
yeah,
so
yeah,
you can
yeah,
put a
yeah.
beer and hang it off your belt. That's why they invented that. So you could drink in cornhole professionally.
Professional, exactly.
But it makes me when I throw sandbag at a wooden hole, I miss a horseshoe. I'm not gonna lie.
Right, I hear you. Horseshoes are fun, and I never really actually really thought about how they're basically the same thing or similar, but they are. It
Well, they're
makes
a hell
me
of a lot safer at a family party because some kid comes running through the horseshoe pit and ding, they got a new necklace
right.
versus a
Um,
sandbag to the face, which anybody should handle that.
yeah, or if anybody's dog is like my dog, we're playing cornhole, and she goes sits right in the middle of the two boards,
Right.
and she's just sitting there. I'm like, get out of the way, Emma, get out of here, go, yeah, go, and she's just like looking at me like,
Hit me, I dare
you
you.
know, she knows what I'm saying. She knows like,
She knows.
she knows like she knows, hey, or like come here, but she's just looking at me like, fuck you.
I didn't want to leave the house this weekend,
Yeah,
but I'm here.
well, because I mean, if I say a c word, she knows what that means, you know. I can't.
Oh yeah,
She's
well
right there.
that's
Yeah,
yeah, they
she's
know
right
those
there.
syllables.
So, but anyhow, that's what I did, and it was fun.
Sounds
Uh,
honestly, man, it not everything has to be. Luckily, your life isn't as chaotic as my ghost pains. Um, that you can just go visit someone else and chill out for the weekend. That's nice.
right.
I'm busy over here having some wild shit. Um, that's all right. That's how I like to handle it. So yeah, man, we mentioned earlier in the show that we landed on. I'm always searching for something for us to talk about, and I found a cool commercial and I sent it to Alex. And if it all works out, no pressure on Alex. Um, we will try to post this video that we're about to talk about on our Instagram page, so you can check it out if you have an Instagram. So the video that you all may have heard about this. This is a major topic right now. You can't read the internet without hearing these two letters pushed together: AI, artificial intelligence. And this is kind of funny to me because I'm not as big of a fan of the Terminator as Alex is, but I'm just sitting here like, we're all fucked. It's finally happening. Yahoo! Like, it's silly, man. It really is. The computers are taking over. This isn't exactly, just to preface all all the scary shit you're hearing about AI is that AI is more efficient than we are. Surprise, surprise. And a lot of people can get jobs done much quicker, and
Yeah.
they're already letting AI create. Apparently, it'll eliminate sales positions. So my job's gone, which will be awesome. So I will be flipping signs out in front of Little Caesars again. That'll be great.
That's a
Just
good
kidding.
job. That's a
Yeah,
good job.
works the shoulders. Um, so in any case, AI is all over the place, and of course, because we don't have any rules or regulations, it's just a free for all, and everyone's worried we're going to shut the world down. I think it'd be kind of funny because there's not shit we can do about it. But before the world gets burned to the ground, AI did go ahead and make a commercial, probably many commercials. But the one that we found, I sent Alex, is a beer commercial, I guess.
Well, here I'm gonna watch it with the sound off, and I'm gonna describe it. Okay.
Cool.
That's what, all right. So it's it's a beer commercial, and it shows people um, of all types in a backyard drinking what is a nondescript beer. And well, and why I say people of all types, because it's computer generated people, and the people in the video almost look real, except some of them their faces are huge, but just like their lips and chin, and like
Like
they
horse
kind of come
mouth.
back. Yeah, they kind of come back, and they're all laughing, but their mouth are is a little bit too big, and their eyes are a little
I'm
weird. And
watching it.
like it's like there's double chins where there shouldn't be double chins, and there's like it's just
Yeah,
it
it looks
almost looks real, but like and there's
okay.
like
So this is
yeah.
reminding me of this, and this could be a stretch for a lot of people, but there is an old school Smashing Pumpkins music video. It's a really dark video. It's a sad video, but it's the second that basically, just to preface this, the girl is she's on drugs, she's on heroin, and she's having a dream. And in the dream, everyone is like this big, exaggerated smiles, like just crazy, dark, weird, trippy shit, but in a sunny, happy environment, like a lot of vibrant colors. This reminds
Mhm.
me of that, except that was made on purpose by humans. And this is out of bounds because it looks okay from a distance, but I don't know what's going on. There's a beer can connected to a jug, to a pint. What is that thing? What is it called? A pitcher of beer. The
Yeah.
person's drinking a pitcher of beer, but there's a 47-ounce can of beer attached to the side of it, and they're holding the jug and drinking it like this. So it looks like a beer bong, like no, a beer pipe. I don't know.
Yeah.
You have to see it if we can get it up. It's AI
No,
generated beer commercial.
I actually just put it on our story. So
There it is. So by the time you watch this, it's there. Titfu69 on Instagram if you're not following us yet. You have to see this because it's still playing now. And every time I look down, it looks. I just saw two horse mouth people drinking the same beer out of with two different ends. I don't know what this is, but I hope this gets played at the next trippy psychedelic music fest.
What it is, it's scary to me. It's
See
it's
their
it's
mouths?
it's yeah, oh yeah, that's yeah.
And what's with the
It's
fire? Why is there a firestorm?
because you know why? You know why? Because AI they're gonna kill us all with fire, and then they're gonna make us all up again. They're gonna like, and we're all gonna be all like, wow, like they are in the video, and then they're gonna kill us again with fire. They're gonna keep on doing it because they're crazy ass robots, and they think it's funny. Yeah, they like it. They want to kill us.
I'm okay with that. Like that's the
Here's the thing: is I love, like Tony said, I love Terminator. That's all around me, but I don't fucking want it to happen. You know what I mean? I like the movies and the comics, and I like Arnold, but I don't fucking. I think AI. I know someone who thinks that there shouldn't be any president at all. There shouldn't be any person in charge. There should only be an AI government, a
Whoa.
computer that tells us, you know,
No.
Skynet,
No.
fucking Skynet, who thinks, and then he's not the only person in the world. There's like a whole thing that people think that this is, and it's probably gonna fucking happen. And hopefully I'm dead, you know?
Oh yeah, get me out. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like, and part of it, at the beginning of anything, the a hair of anything makes sense sometimes. And I'm like, okay, yeah, people have fucked everything up. We've fucked the earth up. We fucked ourselves up. Our own society that we've started, we fucked up. So maybe we should try something else. And then you think about it, it's like, well, who's making the AI? Who's programming the AI? Computers. We're giving the AI power, and it's terrifying. Yeah. I know I'm not making a lot of sense. I'm just going off talking based on fear, but no. And this like that's the thing. It's like this is all fun and cute and funny, but if you really want to think about it, maybe I've seen Terminator too many times and too many, and maybe I've watched I Robot on repeat. I've never seen it, but
I was gonna
um,
say, I was like, oh no, Terminator's better.
but no, can it be real? Probably, maybe. Are we do we as humans take things too far? Typically, yes.
Yeah.
Could we take this too far? Probably fucking. So
We don't put the brakes on much of anything.
yeah.
We just let it happen. You know, it's what's funny is, and this honestly sounds like some Terminator shit, that the people who've invented the stuff, like one of the gentlemen who's kind of considered the godfather, the grandfather, whatever, of this shit, was working with Google and walked away from Google. He's an older gentleman. Basically, he summed it up and said, I can't be honest about my feelings about artificial intelligence while I'm employed with Google. So
Mhm.
now I've quit. Now I can be honest about it. And he said, the only way I can sleep at night is simply telling myself that if I didn't create this, somebody else would have.
Yeah.
That is a
Yeah.
horrible thing to have to tell yourself every fucking day when you feel guilt about creating something that's doing this. This is the beginning. This is definitely just the beginning.
Oh, it's just
And
ice. Yeah.
no, this is just a silly fucking commercial. It could be a warning to us because it's literally saying, look, every race, color, and creed is at the same backyard party, and you're all drinking like idiots. This is how I see you. And those campfires that you had going all of a sudden turned into Armageddon because at the end of the commercial, it's all on fire. I don't know if you see
Yeah.
that, but
Yeah.
if you look at the end of the commercial, they're all getting drunk, and the next thing you know, it gets dark out, and there's just a massive firestorm in the backyard, and everyone's dead. So if that's how AI sees it, that was a warning. That's not a commercial. It's like you're all fucked.
Yeah. No, it's AI just put out a warning. I like that, putting out a warning into something that everyone likes to do. I was just talking about what I like to do outside drinking and
You
hanging
were,
out. Yeah,
look,
I
they're
was just fucking
playing
talking
cornhole,
about it.
Alex.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? A cornhole, it's gonna kill us. We're gonna die on fire, drinking our favorite adult soda pop, throwing our bags around. We're gonna die on fire in our own backyard. I swear to God. You know what? And you know what sucks is talking like this. I feel like I'm a scared old man in our backyard. Build a wall. They're coming for our jobs. They're taking our women. You know what I mean? But I'm like, I'm not talking about. I'm talking about fucking cyborgs.
But they've always given older generations reasons to think that the world was coming to an end.
Yeah.
All the time. You know, be like, oh, that's it. They're doing this. The world's gonna end. Yeah, well, and I they keep giving you reasons to talk like that. Old people talk like that because they've been given reasons to. And they're old because they've been here too damn long. And they've been through too much shit and they have to talk like that. So
Right.
this is I to me, like, I have a sick sense of humor, but bring it on. Like, honestly, I'd rather die from this than ghost pains. So, fucking hey, man. Like, all right, gonna die with a beer in a beer commercial with a horse mouth. I don't. They really got to see this.
Right.
That needs
Well,
this. I have an idea. From here on out, Super Bowl, no human-made commercials. None. All digital. I don't want a digital government. I want all digital commercials. I want that's it, because I fucking hate commercials. So maybe I would like these. You know, be like, here's a car commercial, except it's like the whole world is in one car because it's really stretched out. You know, I don't know what they're gonna come up with, but just something stupid. And then at the course of the end of every of AI commercial, we all die. So that seems awesome to me. It's just basically like, here's the new Hyundai Sonata, and here's the computer's idea of how you're going to die in this Sonata. I'm like, oh, cool. But it doesn't show any pricing. It doesn't show any packages. It just shows someone driving a new car and dying in some horrible way that the computer thinks will actually happen. That would be neat. That'd be a fun Super Bowl.
fuck, we're all fucked.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
So
looking at
anyway,
the time, Tony, and I think we got to talk about music before this is a 2 hour show.
it's funny though, is that this is probably the closest episode marrying up with our title of This Is the Future, unfortunately. This is the episode. This is
Yep.
it. This now the title makes sense. Like, start talking about fucking AI. But yeah,
True.
you're right. We should talk about music. Um, so hope you all had fun with those topics. Check out that video, please. It's hilarious. In any case, so this week we landed on Ice Cube's album, The Predator, a pick that I actually selected because, damn it, I just wanted to hear it. And what did you think, dude?
Well, it's an album I'm very familiar with. I mean, I gotta be honest, I've heard every single one of these songs, 1,000 times, and which isn't a bad thing. I like Ice Cube very much. I think he was one of the last people that you know that put out good rap. You know, and
With a message, like if what's your example of good rap? Like, what's your definition of that?
Ice Cube. um,
Come
my
on, Dre had a
definition of
couple of good songs. I mean,
well, that's the thing is like, I think it seemed like here's the thing. I'm not a huge rap fan. I'm not. I like rap, but any rap I say the reason why I'm not a huge rap fan is because I don't really like anything that's modern or really in the last 15 years, probably.
we have
Like
that in common, right?
like maybe 10 years. Like it's kind of like I feel like like I don't even think I don't even I don't listen to Jay-Z. I don't listen to Kanye before he went crazy. To me, he was never good, and he's still not good. Like I
Right.
basically anything that maybe even like I even or like anything that's in the 2000s. It's basically just 90s rap that I like. That I would can, especially modern rap. I do not like that like Ice Cube does a thing that modern rap that doesn't do, Ice Cube doesn't do a thing that modern rap does, which I think what modern rap does is really annoying. Is they don't rap with the beat, they rap at the same time as the beat. Like
Mm,
they are, it's like they're not playing with the music. It's like they're rapping and it's like fighting with the music. It's like they're going at the same time. And
yeah.
they're not letting the beat and the music be its own thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
And
do.
That's what Ice Cube does. Ice Cube, what is my dog do? Ice Cube raps with the beat, and he respects the music that he's putting to his song.
Damn.
Like he has the beat, and it's like it's funky, and then he's going with it.
Right.
Modern rap is like they are the beat. They the what their rap, what comes out of their mouth has a cadence of its own, and it's like fighting the beat that they're playing in the song.
Right.
It doesn't make any sense to me. It like boggles my fucking head.
Hmm.
And I've heard like rappers from the '90s talk about that. I've heard Snoop Dogg and Ice Cube themselves like talk about that, like how it doesn't make it like it's they're not saying anything. And I think Ice Cube is saying a whole lot of shit. It's like he's like a philosopher. He's like prophesizing shit that that's wrong today in America. Like,
So,
you know, like
so
you know that song, Who Got the Camera?
right. Right.
Who
Can
got
I
the
get a
camera?
fucking Panasonic?
Yeah, and now everybody is filming things that the cops are doing wrong, but he's saying he said that in '92 on this album.
Right.
You know, how many years later? Fuck, 30 years later.
Yeah.
20, yeah, like so, like I don't know. I think Ice Cube is, you know, he still raps, but it's just like any music, music or band or anything. You know, like Iron Maiden's fucking awesome, but I dare you to go listen to their new album. It's not good. And that's kind of how Ice Cube is. It's like he's been doing it so long, put out so many good albums. You know, he's rich, he's famous, he's an actor. What does he got? You know, he doesn't really need it. So
Right. And also, how many times can you say the same thing over and over? I mean, the same message.
sure.
The message was fresh on these albums. Like, I mean, what I love about this album is there's a ton. The music is awesome. Those are samples, old school samples. They sound
Mhm.
great. I love that. To like you said, so the merriment. I did not think of this. That was really fucking cool what you said about the merriment of the music between. It has a flow to it. Like
Mhm.
you get to hear the music, and then you get to hear what he has to say. And
Yeah.
now. I do not listen to a lot of new stuff, but I've heard enough to know what the hell you're talking about now. Where it's like they don't really need a beat behind them because they might as well just go a cappella because they're rapping like that anyway. They're not. That's been my
Mhm.
biggest argument with going to see hip hop acts these days or whatever they are, is that usually there's not a lot of instruments on stage. It's some dude with a laptop hyping you up for half an hour, then the person comes out and does their thing over top of the music, and then they're gone. Like I like to see people on stage like a whole band. I don't give a shit what you're doing. I like a whole band up there. Like I've
Yeah.
seen hip hop done with a band. I like that. I like music as much as I like the lyrics. Usually I like the music more than I like the lyrics. So I want to hear the fucking music. But what's cool about the music and the lyrics here is they go beautifully together. And then all the sampling that they do, all the
Mhm.
shit that he throws in there,
Oh yeah.
interviews that he was on, talking about the shit, like actual, like giving you examples of the issues that he's talking about, like people interviewing him and being like, I think your music's violent, I think it's this, I think it's that. And I'm listening to it like it's a modern day issue. And I'm like, even today, I'm like, no, he needed to address this shit. And he's doing it in the right way. He's telling it like it is from where he's from. He spoke of this
Right.
shit from what he dealt with, from what he
Absolutely.
saw. And that's like, I mean, this is the kind of shit that ends up in the library down in Washington, D.C., whatever the hell that place is called. Like, that's like, it takes a moment in time and says, this is what was going on. You can listen to this album and understand what was going on at that time. It paints a picture. Like, you hear the cops, like, he's like, what's in the box in the back there? You have
Yeah.
any donuts?
Any
Yeah.
donuts?
Basically, at the end of the album, it's like, stick your head in here. Come on, get in here. And pow! It's like, wow, you can't do that now.
No, no.
Like, people are getting offended just by an artificial intelligence commercial being made. They're get offended by anything now. So you can't do that. I mean, you should because it's funny, but it's just like that's the album's great. And then for all the tracks that seem like aggressive or whatever it is, then they'll be like my favorite song on there, of course, is what is it? I got the title. I'm off on the title, but A Good Day. Is that what it's called?
Um, yeah, yeah. What's Yeah, it was a good day.
Yeah, it was a good day. And I want to tell you, I'm going to tell you the reason that I thought of this album was like a year and a half ago. I think I said this before, but I was walking away from a concert that I was at, and I walked right by the Eagles Stadium, open stadium. I was walking from a show at the other venue, which is right next door to it, walking over to my car by myself. And the lights are on. There's no game, but the lights are on in the stadium. It's nighttime, and I'm listening, and cranked up is this song. It's like, and the beat, and it just, you kind of like walking, ooh ah, like yeah, like come on, man. I just slid into some silk pajamas. This feels great, like that.
Yeah.
Like it's a good song because you're like, he's talking about like his good day. Like even though he lives in a rough area, shit isn't, he's like, I didn't get shot. Like, I mean, yeah. But
Yeah.
to me, it's like, yeah, you know what? I'm not dying from ghost pains. Today's a good day, whatever.
Died from ghost pains. Yeah.
It's stupid. But it's just like, it's like you can have an album full of opinionated, in your face tunes, but then sprinkle in some shit where you're just like, damn, like I just want to play this and get laid. Like,
Right.
ooh, ah. Like, yeah, I'm gonna get lucky with myself. I'm gonna go to the bathroom. Fuck this shit. I don't need a partner. It's just it's a nice, it's one of those quintessential albums. I feel like you just gotta have on your shelf just to be like, they made this in the '90s. This was rad. Just so your grandkids, whoever, can pull it off the shelf and be like, what's this? And be like, check it out. See how your ears feel about that. This is one of those albums where I'm like, talking about hip hop, gotta listen to this. And what's funny is I never noticed the riff track in there, but when he's tearing up the guys from NWA,
Mhm.
like when he's tearing them up in there, I was like, oh shit, this is the album he went to school. He took them to school on. Like I didn't,
Yeah.
I didn't get to listen to this shit a lot because when it was coming out, it was like really bad. Parental advisory stickers, and my mom was like, I'll get you some of that stuff, but not all of it. And I was
Not
like,
all of them. Yeah.
so I missed a couple of records. So to be honest, I didn't know this album that well. I don't think I've ever heard the whole thing, but I listened to it 6 times this week. I listened to it as soon as we got done with our last show. I had it on. Um,
Mhm.
but there's a couple of cool songs in there that are just like, it just feels like, you're a piece of bread and someone just rubbing butter all over your ass. You're like, yeah, it's really
Oh, that's
nice.
good.
And then
I
there's
like
some
that
other
analogy.
songs that are like, this is fucked up. This is how we feel about it. This is the way it is, and I'm like,
Yeah.
cool. So to me, it's like, it reminds me of a comedian like George Carlin or Bill Hicks. It's that kind of art where it's just like, hey, this is hard. This is hardcore. This is the truth with art mixed together. That's what's beautiful about it. Music and truth mixed together. I love it. That's my favorite. And it's totally understandable. You can understand every lyric. So it's not
Oh
like I
yeah.
have to like click on the lyrics on Spotify and read them. Like I get it. He's plain as day. I understand exactly what the fuck you're saying. If you're slamming through your shit, mumbling through it, sorry,
Yeah.
man.
I mean, and that's what they call a lot of like modern rap is mumble rap, and he doesn't do that because you can understand, like you said, everything he's saying, and he rhymes things.
Oh yeah,
He's like like everything he's coming out of his mouth is rhyming. Like, and I
like
have some favorite
Chronic,
ones.
like
Yeah.
Chronic and Supersonics.
Yeah.
Like, and the Lakers beat the Supersonics, and I love
Supersonic.
the fact that he says Supersonics because I know this is stupid, but they're not around anymore. So
Yeah.
it's like listening to that record, you're like, yo, this is this is awesome. He's
Oh yeah.
acknowledging there was a basketball team that nobody talks about anymore. Kind of
Oh
weird.
yeah.
So what was
And
your
like, my favorite, like two of my favorite songs are "Who Got the Camera" and "Dirty Mac." And in "Who Got the Camera," there's a line in there that I just thought was cool. Like it was funny to me, and like it's a good example of how he rhymes. He says in the song "Who Got the Camera," he says, "They called me a silly ass thug while they beat me with a Billy ass club."
damn? That is
And
good.
I was like, that's a really good fucking line. It's a really good lyric. They
Well,
called
that's
me
got
a
like a
silly ass
double. It's like a
thug.
double rhyme. There's two
Yeah,
words in the top sentence that rhyme with two rhyming
yeah,
words in the bottom.
yeah,
Like a double entendre or some shit.
yeah. It's
That's a
fucking
grammatical masterpiece.
yeah. It's just such a, and I had to listen to it a couple of times to be like to remember it. But it's just yeah. They call me a silly ass thug. Well, they beat me. while he beat me with his silly ass club. Like it's fucking it's good.
There's some
Real
other
good.
I always like hear things when I can't write them down, but there's a couple lines in there. But one point he says something to somebody. He's talking about somebody's sweater. So he says Swiss cheese, and they shoot him up. And I was just
Yeah.
like shit like that. Like there's just so much in there. There is just a ton in this album. There's other albums that came out around this time that are like that too. But you just know that Ice Cube, he's some of the best artists in the world across all different mediums say that people are like, "Oh wow, you're just gifted, you know, you just come up with this stuff." It's like the way they explain it is more like they're an antenna.
Hmm.
It's coming to them. They're just kind of have their minds open and the shit's coming to them. And when Ice Cube puts pen to paper, he's got a rad antenna. That's all I got to say because you could tell he's just it's coming. It's flowing right out of him. He's probably sitting there like, "Holy fuck. What is this?" Like he's probably like, "Jesus Christ, I'm sitting on a bus with a fucking notebook and going over speed bumps and I can't stop." Shit.
Right.
That's what happens when you write an album like that. Something's it's coming in. You're just like, "Damn, I got this is a
For
gift."
real. For real.
That's
Yeah.
what Carlin
Definitely.
like Carlin would say, like, dude, it's just coming to me. It's I'm writing, I'm the vessel, and the shit's coming down, coming out of my pen. Couldn't explain it any other way. I've experienced that once in a while. I can write something funny and be like, that wasn't me. Where the fuck that came from? There's a gem in here. It's like a river,
Right.
and we're all mining it, you know, like with panning for gold. That's how I explain it. But he just had a beautiful run of he has a great antenna. And at that point, when he was younger and full of piss and vinegar and had something to say, generated some great albums. So of course, down the road now, like he's got a happy life, like you said. He's made it. What the hell is there to be mad about when things are a hell of a lot better than they used to be, and you're like triple the age you were back then? Things
Yeah.
chill the fuck out. I get that, and that's fine. You have a record like this, who really gives a shit what else you made? Like it's fine. Like, dude, you made a masterpiece. That's awesome. And that is how I rate this album. Seriously, I need to listen to it 20 more times only to fall in love with it that much more. But I do believe this is seriously a fucking hip hop masterpiece.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
I love it. There's only a few albums I really love that are hip hop because I'm not a huge rap hip hop fan, whatever the hell we're calling it. But this one and Outkast's Greatest Hits, which was actually produced by Dr. Dre.
Hmm.
Those are this one and that one are two of my fucking favorite hip hop albums. And I only had one until I listened to this one. So
Right.
great. It's just fun as hell, man. Funny but daring, clever as shit, and the beats are great.
So what would you give it 1 out of 10?
Let's get a 10. Why not? Fuck it. It's great.
And I'd give it a 10 as well. That was what I was thinking.
Hell yeah. It I
Yeah,
still feel it. Like it makes me I don't know what it is. It's kind of like I don't know, I feel like I'm getting a massage. I'm like,
yeah. Um, I so Ice Cube was in the 21 Jump Street, and I listened to and Jonah Hill and Channing Tatum, I guess, hung out with him a lot, like on flights and shit like that, and working with him, hung out. And I heard an interview that I think Jonah Hill was in the interview, and I watched it, and he was talking about how they just be hanging out and talking about rap, and talking about hip hop, and who they like and shit like that. And they were deep in conversation for a long time, and I think Jonah Hill kind of like forgot like who he was talking to, and Jonah Hill just goes, "So he's like, who, in your opinion, who's the best rapper? Who's the best artist of all time?" And I guess Ice Cube, Jonah Hill just says Ice Cube looks at him, kind of like he's pissed off, kind of just goes, "Me, motherfucker."
Ah, I know.
Just stares at him for a second,
I
fucker.
can picture him doing that. I can picture his
Yeah.
face when you said
And,
that.
and then Jonah was like, I forgot who I was talking to. Yeah. Okay.
Well, of course.
Me,
Excuse me, you think
motherfucker.
you're amazing? Okay.
So that was and like it's not like we know who Ice Cube is. Like, we don't know him as a person, but like, he's been, on TV and in music for his whole life. So you kind of like get a sense that he's like, it doesn't matter that he's, rich and famous now. He's still dude on the street on the corner being like, he's still hard. He's still a hard dude,
Right.
you know?
Right.
You know, he's just like, me, motherfucker.
He just pissed
It's
me
so,
off. I'm
it's
writing another
funny.
album.
I was just like, that's just really funny. Yeah.
Well, and to that point, so just talking about Ice Cube in general for a second, you have to keep in mind, back to the antenna analogy, he's a writer.
Yeah.
Not only is he lyrically gifted, but he's a fucking writer. Because I mean, right after this album, he wrote Friday, Friday 2, 3. Like, come on, man. Like, I don't know what other movies he's done. I'm sure who knows, but he's gifted in many ways. He's not just a hip hop, star or whatever the fuck.
Right.
So he crosses genres. He could do many things, and
Oh, absolutely.
writing is where it all starts. That's where this comes from. Pen to paper, just coming up with amazing shit and so much stuff because you can't. Some people can write one great album and they're done, or they write
Yeah.
one great song and they're done. Some people are just connected to that damn. It keeps coming in. So I mean, if he wanted to write another script or if he's working on one, I'm sure he's not having any problems with it. I don't
Right.
know, but it seems like he's just got one of those dudes that if he wanted him to write something, his shit be worth reading, whatever it
Oh,
is.
absolutely. I
Right.
mean, I think he's got about, as far as albums that I think are good, I think he's got about, I don't know, 6 or 7
Right.
to me, anyway. But yeah, I think we both give Ice Cube and this album, The Predator, a 10 out of 10.
Hell yeah.
Good.
Now, just saying something stupid real quick. Wouldn't it have been neat if they worked in one of the songs into the Predator movie? Somehow.
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 I think it'd be
Maybe just
awesome.
on the trailer. Like at a good day. It was a good day on the trailer. At the end of the movie, it's just right when it's all over, when Arnie kills him, all that shit. It's like boom, 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 everyone walks out of the Predator movie theater like, yeah. What?
I think it'd be cool to have a scene where the Predator's just just slicing people, just like, you know, and then the song "It Was a Good Day" and I have to use my AK, and he's just like, "Mama, breakfast with no hog," and Predator's just like skewering people.
Oh, the Lakers beat the Supersonics, yeah. like Predator's got his own tunes on. He's like, bum, bum,
Yeah,
bum,
he's just like, yeah,
he
like
comes down to earth for good music.
yeah, like what's going, like he has like headphones on, like big headphones. Like what's going on, like what he's listening to when he's like
Yes.
murdering. He's just like slicing people in half.
So deep, I put an ass to sleep.
It's like
Today was a good day. Yeah, Predator's chilling out. All right, we had to do something silly in there. That was good. So, anyway, we're gonna spin the wheel through something new on there for you. Of course, Alex will go over it, but always looking for suggestions if you have them. But I definitely like music, so we always seem to dig something up between Alex and I. So, all right. So in the number 1 spot, we have the Big Lebowski movie, and replacing in the number 2 spot, kind of appropriate in its own way. This will be a little bit of a history lesson when we get to listen to it. But her name is Lucille Bogan. I may be saying this wrong. Forgive me. I have an accent. The album that we're doing is called Shave 'Em Dry. It's a best of. All right. So Lucille Bogan, Shave 'Em Dry in the number 2 spot. And then number 3 is up to Alex. Number 4, Aretha Franklin, Amazing Grace. Number 5 is Mudhoney's newest album, Plastic Eternity. Number 6, as a suggestion from one of our listeners, James Carruthers, Relapse is the album. Number 7, it's up to me if it lands on me. Number 8 is Against Me, to not sound redundant, Searching for a Form of Clarity. And number 9, got some comedy in here with Louis C.K. and his special Sorry. And in the number 10 spot, David Bowie, Black Star, and really quick, HBO just put out a 2-hour movie on his ass. I'm watching right now that looks rad. So if you're a Bowie fan, check it out. Those are the 10. Alex, do your thing.
Predator.
I always close the notebook and then I forget.
Number 2.
The fuck out of here. Okay. So we're actually listening to Lucille.
Oh,
It is Lucille. Bogan is her last name. Bogan.
B-O,
And
B-O.
sorry, Bogan as in Nancy.
Okay. And then Lucille.
And Alex, if you, I mean, this is live, but in any case, if you want to check, make sure it's on Apple Music, it's on Spotify. But just to be clear, this music is so old that I don't think, like, I think someone like found it and kind of brought it back like 60 years later. So
Is there an album? Is there an
it is
album?
an album. There's a couple of albums, but what we're covering is the best of. So in
Okay.
Spotify, it's under compilations.
Okay. Okay.
And I'm not really trying to warn anybody, but to tell you up front, this is dirty music.
Okay.
Dirty,
So
dirty, bad music. She says some nasty shit. Apparently, the history on this, I got it. We're gonna get some history on it for you. But long story short, she says things that prompted rappers to talk like the nasty, like Too Short type shit. Like we're talking nasty fucking stuff. She says things, but in a beautiful way. She says some things that are just wow. So if you're listening to this, maybe not with kids in the car. Just gonna tell you up front, or don't. You might embarrass yourself. Just try it by yourself first, and then see if you want anyone else to listen to it.
I
It's
mean, yeah,
awesome, but it's
when we've done Wheeler Walker, so we're
right. Just giving you a heads up. This is.
we're into it.
She says something to the effect of touch, shape, just it's nasty and it's great. So anyway, I'm not going to ruin it anymore. Just want to give you a fair warning. It's dirty as shit. It's great. So Lucille Bogan, Shave 'em
And
Dry, best of.
Shave 'em Dry, best of,
Yeah, it's compilation
and it's called Shave 'em Dry. Okay.
called Shave 'em Dry, best of compilation.
And how do they find it?
In like under the artist I use Spotify, he uses Apple Music. Under Spotify, you just simply scroll right down to the bottom where in the albums, and it'll be a compilations are usually listed at the bottom. So it's
Okay.
like the last thing you can find.
All right. In the compilations, best of Shave 'em Dry.
Yep.
All right.
That'll be
Cool.
a fun one. I'll get to do some. I'll dig up some history on it so we know what we're talking about.
All right.
Okay. Well, hey, thanks for watching. Alex has all the deets, so I'll shut up.
Instagram, if you would like to suggest an album or a movie, an album, any artist, whole album, Instagram 69, and then you can do the same on YouTube. And let me backtrack a little bit. If you go Instagram route, go to our DMs, direct message us. If you want to do YouTube, probably easier because that's where you're watching it. So YouTube, most recent episode in the comment section. Give us your suggestion. Other than that, thanks for watching and listening. Bye-bye.
Bye.